Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bayeté Ross Smith. I'm an interdisciplinary artist and education worker uh, working in Harlem, New York on Lenape land in Uptown Manhattan. I'm here to tell you today about Art of Justice. Um, Art of Justice is a series of virtual and physical art installations and engagements with the legal community through district attorneys' offices and through law schools. This particular project is based on a simple premise: bias based on ethnicity, uh, gender, race, religion are the cornerstones of discriminatory practices, amongst other identity factors that uphold systemic inequity. While some biases are based on real world experiences, many of them stem from the stories we're told and the stories we share. Art of Justice, as a series of physical and virtual installations, utilizes the storytelling power of art and media to engage the legal community around issues of unconscious bias and other contemporary social justice issues. I'm targeting the legal community through district attorneys' offices and law schools because many of the people who go into policymaking professions, whether that be political office, other policymaking professions, or who actually conduct our criminal justice system, get a lot of their formal education and ongoing training through the legal community, either through law schools and continuing legal education in their law practices. These artistic engagements will be based on my work, which you're looking at now, and may eventually include the work of additional artistic practitioners. I've already begun piloting this concept on a small scale at the St. Thomas University Law School in Miami in their intercultural human rights program. My goal is to implement Art of Justice at top tier law schools and influential district attorneys' offices around the country to eventually make this a standard for legal education and for CLE, continuing legal education. Critical element of my work is approaching people in a manner that, I should say, my work, while it deals with really substantial issues and ideas related to identity and how we all relate to one another, my work does not tell people what to think. Instead, it creates experiences that forces people to question their pre-existing beliefs. You're currently seeing one such example of my work, which is the Our Kind of People series, which utilizes traditional portrait photography as well as fashion to examine and deconstruct preconceived notions and biases about identity. The subjects in this work are dressed in clothing they all own, and they're styled in the way in which they'd be styled in daily life. The only thing that changes from image to image is the person's face. I keep the lighting and the facial position and facial expression the same, and I keep it neutral. These particular images are from a digital campaign that I'm conducting with the Our Kind of People series that'll be part of Art of Justice, which is a campaign in which we not only include images that I've shot professionally and videos I've recorded professionally, but it also includes DIY imagery that we allow people to create through the use of a style guide. Again, Art of Justice will be centered and grounded in a lot of my work, which examines identity as one of the basic building blocks of human interactions. And as this project is built out, additional works and projects will be included. Another critical project that I'm working on currently that'll be a part of Art of Justice is a project called Red Summers VR, Domestic Terrorism, 1917 to 1921. In this particular project, I utilize 360 virtual reality video in order to examine the idea of historic site, historic trauma, and look at how that connects with our current state of social justice and sense of division, not only in the United States, but around the world. So with Red Summers VR, we look at the sites of racialized domestic terrorism from the early 20th century. Many of these scenarios are referred to as race riots. And we utilize 360 VR video to take people to the site, and then we merge in historic archival images in order to give you the sense of looking back in time. In addition to the short films that will be in 360 VR, we're also including longer form essays that that will give more context to the events. And we also are collecting and including accounts from descendants of survivors and victims of these historic events. What you're seeing now is a screen recording of the 360 virtual reality film we did about the Tulsa 1921 race massacre. The idea is to then take these events and look at how they impacted the corresponding social landscape, as well as the lack of legal accountability, and how that created a ripple effect from that time up until our current time. One of the interesting things about the early 20th century and the World War I era is you'll notice when you look back in time that a lot of the social and political issues from that time are directly impacting and directly relate to some of the social issues that we're facing today. So what do I need for Art of Justice? Currently, I'm looking for strategic partnerships with law schools around the country. I'm particularly targeting top tier law schools because I think by targeting top tier law schools, we'll be able to set a certain trend in motion that other law schools will follow. I'm currently looking for connections to create strategic partnerships at Columbia University, Michigan University, the University of Virginia, Yale, and Stanford. These are schools that I've targeted based on the way they operate their curriculum and their corresponding philosophy towards teaching law. I'm also interested in developing strategic partnerships with the San Francisco DA's office, the Philadelphia DA's office, the Chicago DA's office, the Bronx DA's office, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Atlanta. In addition to those things, I'm seeking a connection with a speakers bureau to book me for public speaking engagements so I can talk about this philosophy behind Art of Justice and dig deeper into this methodology for how we can use the storytelling power of art to affect our future policymakers and policy implementers. I also am seeking connections with a PR firm and a publicist to be able to more strategically spread the word about the work I'm doing. And finally, I'm looking for access to equipment. I currently need several computers with a fast enough processor, enough RAM, and the proper graphics card for efficiently editing 6K video because the videos for Red Summers are still being produced, and I have to produce a bunch of them and push them out quickly and efficiently. So that's Art of Justice. Anyone who's interested in helping assist me affect the legal community, create impact around social issues, and affect our future policymakers, please reach out. Thank you very much.